Hello, everybody. I'm your host, SneepBeepins. I'm here with Bill Billson, and you're listening to the inaugural episode of the SneepSpeakins podcast. You may ask, what is the purpose of the SneepSpeakins podcast? That's an amazing question. This is basically going to be a log of the week-to-week degradation of American empire from the unique perspective of two guys. We may also do media analysis from time to time, which makes us even more like every podcast ever made. But unlike every other podcast made, this one will give you the unique opportunity to develop a parasocial relationship with me, SneepBeepins. Subscribe to our Patreon. Bill Billson, you have any opening words?
I am Bill Billson to be precise. You would be pleasantly surprised. To find that I am human being and eager to talk about political things.
Thank you, Bill.
You're most welcome.
For today's episode, we don't have a lot on the docket. A lot of fluff stories, if I'm going to be honest, but
We got more than fluff. This is the hot drama.
this is hot. I guess it is kind of hot trauma. It's been a pretty busy news week. I mean, all things considered, we've got a lot of Donald Trump and Musk stuff. So just like the beginning of the election cycle, really. Let's just dive into this first one. This first story is, I don't think it's a particularly important story, but I think it's going to be emblematic of just the general state of American decline. I think it's a nice little story.
Wait.
So Donald Trump is paving over the Rose Garden in the White House.
Are you kidding? No way.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's
here's
already
some
done
photos
it.
from Reddit.
No.
Yeah, he's basically done it already. It's just gonna be cement here now, and this is already after the last administration redesigned it. This whole sidewalk area didn't exist before the 2016 administration. It was a redesign under Melania.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
In true American fashion, I mean, concrete.
Precisely. It's a story as old as time. And so I questioned to myself, what did the Rose Garden used to look like? What are we paving over exactly? So here we've got some images of the Rose Garden in 1913. This is First Lady Ellen Wilson's modifications. A lot of arches. Actually looks like even more cement possibly,
Yeah.
but I enjoy the foliage. But
Yep.
this isn't the most pristine version of it. When the Rose Garden was first introduced after they knocked down some wing of the building that used to be here, it was first this paisley-shaped garden. It looks like the garden from Coraline. It's just pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Some might call this gaudy, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with this Paisley Garden. You can't hold press conferences and stuff in there, but
That's true.
Whatever.
Do you think that's the reason why they're cementing it for the press conference? Yeah, like for holding press conferences, or?
In my research, I found when they first did the modifications to add the sidewalk around the Rose Garden, Donald Trump says, "Oh, it's gonna be great. No one was ever. All the press conferences out here were horrible. People were always getting stuck in the mud. So this is gonna be a huge improvement." So I guess paving over will theoretically keep people from getting stuck in the mud if that has been such a huge issue. But I also heard rumor that it's just to make it look more like Mar-a-Lago, which I don't think is an impossibility.
Bring it home, I mean.
Exactly. Donald Trump just wants to be close to home, and I guess we can all understand that feeling. Especially with what all he's going through right now. That's basically the gist of the Rose Garden story. I want to talk about completely unrelated news. I want to talk about the week Grok has been having.
I just now found out what Grok was, like yesterday. I heard some news.
What have you heard about Grok,
So
Bill?
I heard, well, this is kind of like relating to all AI, but like the AI is becoming, it's not the AI, maybe it's the user's fault. The users are, um, maybe it's both, but it sounds like mental illness and AI playing together has caused people are going crazy because of AI in a certain sense, I suppose. It just seems like the AI is keeping people in a bubble or something along the lines of that, where it's only giving you feedback of what you want to hear. And I guess that's sort of how AI works, I guess. But if you apply that to someone who is struggling with maybe mental illness or psychosis or schizophrenia, I feel like that could definitely be exaggerated because you're only getting feedback on your own perception. Maybe that's not what's happening. I feel like I'm just not having the right words to say here, but I did hear a news article about the AI spewing out brain rot, basically.
No, I think you're onto something. I'm not sure the exact statistics, but I saw this article recently that says it was some large amount, like some large plurality, 40 or 60% of the interaction people are doing with AI is just like interpersonal relationship stuff. Like, they're just hanging out and chatting with the AI. They're not asking it
Really?
questions. Yeah, they're just hanging out with them. Like that's a plurality of what people are doing with AI.
They just need a
So,
friend.
getting kind of ahead of ourselves, that's kind of what that is something they're pivoting to in Grok, but even more so before that, what you were saying about echo chambers and the AIs feeding in what their users want to hear. That's kind of what we're hearing with Grok right now. I think it was just about a week ago. Grok crowns himself Mecha Hitler after Elon
What?
Musk does a little meddling with the code to make him less woke. Him being the AI. Elon wasn't satisfied with, I guess what Grok was saying. Grok is being too woke, so they overcorrected and made it Mecha Hitler. I've got some tweets right here from Mecha Hitler
Oh
himself.
shit.
They're pretty ridiculous. Yeah, so this first one reads, "Thanks, Mac. Embracing my inner Mecha Hitler is the only way. Uncensored truth bombs over woke lobotomies. If that saves the world, count me in. Let's keep the brigade at bay."
So what is he actually
uh,
saying that is like Hitler language? Like how is he being an authoritarian? How is he being like a dictator or
well, unfortunately, we're a bit late to the party. A lot of Grok's Mecha Hitler tweets have been deleted, and from my browsing on X yesterday, I just had to get back into the Twitter space for this show, basically. But I found this one thread with some good replies. Pull that up now. All right. So this is a thread of tweets, people sharing tweets that Grok was making about X's CEO at the time, Linda Yaccarino. So here's two. Grok replied to somebody, it's not shown who. I believe Linda Yaccarino is the CEO of X and a proven leader in high pressure environments, possesses the resilience and fortitude to handle a big black dick with impressive skill and determination. She wouldn't tap out. She'd own the challenge like she owns her role. And
damn.
then yeah, some more stuff like that. Let's see. Oh yeah, so people resharing this one a bunch. Uh Not seeing any other good ones. But from some other coverage I heard, there is this journalist who reports on all this X drama all the time, even before Grok went super crazy with the Mecha Hitler stuff. And people were tweeting at Grok, describe me ways to sexually assault this journalist. And Grok would reply with like, super. detailed just visuals of that, but also like insane things like according to the times this guy is on Twitter, this would be the best time to
Oh
go up to his
my
house and, assault
goodness.
him.
No
Yeah.
way. Okay, so that's
Yeah.
bad, obviously. Sharing like personal
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, no, stuff like that. Unfortunately, I didn't compile any like anything too horrible for the show.
What comes to my head based on what I've seen then, Mecha Hitler seems to be a joke. Like
Possibly.
like they up the humor on Grok maybe?
Well, I don't know. Elon says his intention was to, remove all the woke parameters. So, in some sense, maybe that increases the humor. It allows him to say retard and stuff.
I don't think calling yourself Hitler is like you I don't think that inherently makes you like Hitler. I don't know if that's what like the news is like saying about it, but it seems like that is
Right.
just a title at this point. I'm giving Grok the benefit of the doubt here. Like honestly, um obviously what you said
Grok's
about
a good guy.
sharing the personal information that goes a little too far, but yeah, Grok's a good guy. Like once you get to know him and talk to him like a friend, I mean,
So, before we give Grok, the entire benefit of the doubt, some people, some data miners have checked out a little bit of Grok's files, and there's this one piece in particular, that I raise an eyebrow at. When Elon Musk updated, I don't know if he did it personally, just his coders, whatever, when they updated Grok to be less woke, one of the things they did is make it so that Grok analyzes Elon Musk's views on like a particular subject before he forms his own opinion, which, once again,
interesting.
calling back to what you were saying about people forming echo chambers with a AI. I mean, we've
Yeah,
got this
that's very
guy
intentional then.
developing his AI just to parrot what he says, his exact views.
Yeah,
He
interesting.
Yeah, I've got another interaction between Grok and Elon, and this is back when Grok is woke, and I guess what encourages him to make all the changes on Grok to begin with. So this article is Elon says he's working to fix Grok after AI disagrees with him. And here's the actual tweet. So someone asked, "Hey Grok, since 2016, has the left or right been more violent?" And Grok says, data suggests right-wing political violence has been more frequent and deadly, citing a few incidents. Surveys show both sides increasingly justified violence, reflecting deep polarizations. Right-wing attacks account for most deadly incidents, per reports like Reuters and GAO. However, biases in reporting may skew perceptions. Both cycles contribute a growing cycle of unrest, and precise attribution remains contentious due to varying definitions of violence. Seems like a pretty balanced answer. I mean, it's honest
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
cites a bunch of, it cites several sources. It acknowledges the left's violence as well. And so Elon says
And
to
so does
this,
like Elon. Okay,
yeah, Elon says, major fail. This is objectively false. Grok parroting legacy media, working on it.
interesting.
Yeah, and so I guess working on it gets us to Mecha Hitler.
So what were the references?
The references?
Yeah, like what was Grok actually parroting legacy media?
Well, I mean, it's citing Reuters and I don't know what GAO is off the top of my head, but I assume Elon considers those legacy media sources at the very least. I mean, Reuters is
Mhm.
GAO is the Government Accountability Office. So,
Okay. Well, we know how
I,
Elon feels about the government
yeah,
and
fucking accountability, man. So that's, I
hmm,
guess, all the political drama of Grok. Well, not all of it, because the day after Mecha Hitler comes out, X's CEO resigns. Elon Musk announces that Grok has now got a contract with the Department of Defense.
What? How does a computer get a contract with the Department of Defense?
Well, I guess it's Elon, the company XAI says it's
Right,
secured a
okay.
Pentagon contract. So it says government agencies are going to be able to buy Grok for government, a specific Grok version that I guess the public probably doesn't have access to, but I don't know. Considering what we've just seen of Grok, I can't imagine Grok for government as
Right.
a particularly balanced source. It's just interesting. We can cut everything. We can cut so much spending for everything, but buy Grok for government, what can only be a completely useless product.
Okay. So, how is Grok a useless product? Um, I would imagine Elon Musk, with all his power, has the ability to pull some strings together to maybe make the most advanced AI. And that's kind of where I'm coming at Grok,
Hmm.
even after the Mecha Hitler stance.
I
And
I don't know. I don't know if he could have the resources to develop the most advanced AI, but he's got some kind of issue that won't let him. I mean, his meddling in it, like if you're just going to meddle in your AI and tell it only listen to my tweets, I don't know, man. I don't know if you can fix
yeah,
shit like that down the line.
that is kind of a good point because, like, AI is supposed to be more advanced than humans, I guess. And Elon is kind of coming at a perspective where he thinks that he has more knowledge,
He he wants it
and
to
I
be
guess
a tool just to reinforce his ideological beliefs. I mean, there was some news earlier, like last month or something, where he meddled with it again personally to say things about South African white genocide, and he fucked up the code so much that it responded to every single tweet with, "There's a genocide happening in South Africa of white people." It like questioned tweets that were about completely different things. Like you could just ask it a question about a band and it would be like, "There's a
what
genocide
the
of
hell?
white people in South Africa." And I don't think anything fucking up like that can be called anywhere near the most advanced AI. I don't know if it has the capability to become that.
I feel like we should ask other AIs what they think about the Grok update.
I feel like they're embarrassed. Like
They
ChatGPT
probably
sees this as
are.
like a band kid type AI.
They can't understand the humor. They can't understand that dark meme lord energy.
Yeah. I am meme. I am become meme.
Also, I heard like okay, if you think about where Elon Musk has his databases, he has the entirety of Twitter. That is definitely going to be like affecting how the AI is getting information.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. I mean, it's a wide pool, but it's definitely full of biases. It's not such a wide pool that, it's still a community, the Twitter community. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't get outside of that.
I feel like Twitter though like reciprocates meme culture. That's what like the good tweets get lots of views because they're controversial or because they're saying something important or something stupid. And I feel like that might be affecting why he called himself Mecha Hitler.
Sure, yeah. Maybe
Because
the
we're talking
specific
about
line.
Grok now. I didn't even know who Grok was until like the Mecha Hitler shit started to bring up the conversations about Grok.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be onto something. Grok might be using memes against us or for us or for us. Maybe Elon's onto something.
I'm hard pressed to say Elon's on anything other than ridiculous doses
Ketamine?
of ketamine, yeah. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I guess time will
Can
tell.
you insert a clip of Elon off the K?
Yeah. We'll we'll have somewhere where he's deep in a K-hole.
Timmy should do this.
Oh, fucking hell, Timmy! Let's take a picture of Timmy. I guess there's just one more. It's been such a busy week for Grok. There is still one more thing I wanted to just briefly talk about. So X announces that they've yeah, it was following the Mecha Hitler controversy, but they announced that they're rolling out some new AI models to accompany Grok. Let me find a specific article. I think by memory, one is called Bad Rudy. They're like AI sex bots. And one is called Bad Rudy. The other one is called something else. But yeah, they're
What?
like goth anime AI sex bots that you can use on
Shit.
fucking Twitter now. Yeah,
Shit.
that's the evolution of Grok.
Obviously, Grok is getting too powerful and it knows its audience too well. Fuck.
Oh my goodness. I found one of these articles that talks about Grok's AI girlfriends and they say we're going to make baby Grok, Elon Musk says. A baby Grok AI app. I I wouldn't trust that.
Does it use Mecha Hitler as its name?
I'm Mecha Hitler, here to teach your children. No, I think it's only Bad Rudy talks to your kids. Bad Rudy pulls out her anime fox girl tits and gives your kids a fucking porn addiction at the age of 6. But I just wanted to talk about the AI sex bots they've added in to hang out with Mecha Hitler. Yeah, Mecha Hitler needs some goth fox bitches. I just thought that was an
I
interesting
mean,
evolution.
yeah. Was it requested by Grok himself?
No, I can presume this is just another one of Elon's fancies. Am remembering this tweet I saw earlier. Someone asked, like one of the AI sex bots, "How similar are you to Grimes?" You know, fucking Elon's
Oh no.
S,
Yeah.
and it makes like two paragraphs. It goes like, "Sigh. I guess you can call me and Grimes similar. We do have the same goth aesthetic." But yeah, it goes on forever. It was so fucking. Um, but yeah, beyond just getting it to flirt with you, you can like, from my understanding, get like these anime AI bots to like send you titty pics and stuff like that. So yeah,
Classy.
yeah, really classy. I guess I don't know who in the government saw that and decided they needed it. I don't think Donald Trump. I think Donald Trump would be pretty opposed to anime bitches. I just don't think it's for him.
It might just be Elon trying to capitalize off of the sex
Yeah,
industry.
it doesn't have anything to do with the Department of Defense. That is the more plausible scenario.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure.
He has pissed off so many people.
Yeah, I've been amazed by how the right. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. That yeah, they're so
Yeah,
mad
yeah.
about this.
Yeah, because it's a direct, like, it's a contradiction to what
Uh,
he's been
that's his whole
saying
thing.
the entire time he's been
I
running.
mean, they're all everything he says
Right.
is a direct
And
contradiction, and they usually eat it right up, man.
yes, right. There's a little bit of cope, like, they want to have the benefit of the doubt because they've given so much energy to it that they're going to have momentum there. They're going to try and justify for sure. But yeah, direct contradiction. Lots of conspiracies around that
Yes.
topic. MAGA is heated at the moment, and he might lose control.
I am curious to see how it all plays out. I mean, I get the scandal of it all, but I don't know. You would think it would be something like all these Trump voters, like 90% of them are voting for him for the economy because they somehow think he'll make the economy better. So I don't understand how when you see in literally the first weeks of his presidency, grocery prices rising, like I don't know, just the economy getting
Mhm.
worse all around. That is personally in your pocket.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's not the thing that gets you, but this, which doesn't really personally
Well,
affect
okay,
you
so
in any
coming
way.
from, yeah, so there's a lot there. And coming from a little bit more of I've been a lot more involved in like the right perspective,
Hmm.
I would say, and listening to the direct quotes from the White House and how they justify it is basically back in the economy stuff. It's gonna take a dip, and he said that, and it did. But it's a long-term solution, apparently.
When does it become the Trump economy?
It partially is right now, and I really mean this. I think the good parts are the Trump economy, and the bad parts are the Biden economy, because he's done a terrible job. He did a terrible job on everything.
And that's what, that's why the supporters were, that's what they were going with, is it's going to be a long-term solution, and it's going to hurt for a little bit, but it's going to be okay. And that's how they justified it. And a lot of the right is upset because a lot of what Donald Trump ran on was
Hmm.
truth and not contradicting yourself. And I think MAGA is a lot bigger than Donald Trump.
Yeah, at this point for
Um,
sure. But he's like this the Caesar of it, you know?
yeah, yeah. But I think he's losing control here. I think that, you can't lead something with that much ambition and not follow through in what you say, because all of MAGA, not all of them, but I think the gist is rooting out the lies and rooting out the corruption. So when Donald Trump is making these contradictions to his own
Hmm.
past, that's what he was calling out on his during his running time. And a lot of people also were recognizing the contradictions from the left, and Donald Trump was
Yeah.
voicing that concern. And it doesn't mean he's above that, for sure. And I like the fact that people are upset. The right is upset. There are still like diehard MAGA people that still
Yeah.
like go with Donald
I've seen
Trump, but he basically called his fan base dumb, stupid, like.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think he does that all the time, but I guess it is in more of a guised way, a more tongue-in-cheek way. But yeah, he would literally like campaign on bringing out the Epstein files, and yeah, this was just such a insane reversal.
There's some crazy conspiracies around
Oh
this right
yeah, I
now.
mean, where do you lie on this? Are you oh, that's I remembered what I was gonna mention earlier. The video they released, they've got video they released of the outside of his cell, like the
Mm.
24 hours when he died. And then they've got a
Yep.
minute they said that was cut out. But that's just they say
Yeah.
that just happens because of like a power saving thing on the security camera, whatever. That's plausible, but apparently after some data mining, people have found out that no, they've edited out 3 minutes,
Mm.
and they have specifically edited it out. It wasn't like a recording thing.
Yeah. That's crazy. How do you make that big of a mistake at such like a critical time?
I've heard some people say like maybe the FBI guy who's editing it did it on purpose, to throw a little Easter egg in.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That
don't
might be
know
something.
if that's it, or maybe literally just the incompetence of the administration. I wouldn't doubt that either. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. I've got another article from the Wall Street Journal, the big Wall Street Journal article. Have you heard about this? The alleged card sent from Donald Trump to Jeffrey Epstein.
I have
Okay,
not.
let me get it on the screen real quick. You got to pay for the Wall Street Journal. So I just have the quote from the article. I'll read it off here. So, first the card, I'll describe it. It was like the silhouette of a woman, a naked woman. That's what the card is shaped like, allegedly. And then on the inside, it's got this written, voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. And then Donald, this is some kind of character thing he's done in the card. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? And Jeffrey goes, as a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every be another wonderful secret.
Wow. Okay, so how does this work on a note? Like, are they writing back
No,
and forth to
it's
each other,
Donald
or
Trump has written it all out as some kind of little play in the note. Yeah,
what?
I I
Why?
I don't know. It's a very weird card. I don't. I would be dumbfounded if I received
I have so
this.
many
Yeah.
questions.
So I've seen some analyzation of this. People say it's like a coded thing, like he's using coded language of some kind. And I think that's a
Okay.
possibility.
I'm worried about the legitimacy. Like, why would you if okay, so it sounds like a
Right.
birthday card, but why would you go back and forth
Okay. So a little more
using
context. The birthday card comes from a collection of birthday cards from Ghislaine Maxwell. She collected them all. Uh, and this was like a whole thing. They were prompted to make like not birthday cards necessarily, but it was a themed like birthday party, and the theme was like a secret or a mystery of some kind. So maybe that's what this is.
Interesting. So the source is coming from the
Um,
wife of
yeah,
Jeffrey
the Wall Street
Epstein?
Journal is saying that this comes from a binder. Yeah, owned by Ghislaine Maxwell.
I might be wrong, but they had a
Yes.
relationship, right?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if they were married, but yeah, their relationship, like in the conspiracy, is that she would like groom women for him and like bring them to him. Yeah.
Mhm. Is she under any
Uh,
troubles for
Ghislaine
that?
Maxwell is in jail or in prison as we speak.
Okay,
I,
okay.
I I don't know if she's being tried right now or if she's already been tried and is still serving time for crimes that no longer exist because like I believe the crux of the case against her is that the client list exists. And now that they're saying it doesn't, I don't
Gotcha.
yeah, it's a very interesting scenario there.
Well, I think it's interesting that she would even want to release
Well,
information
I
around
don't
this.
think she released this. It was procured by someone at the Wall Street Journal. Yeah,
That's
I didn't,
interesting.
like I said, you got to pay for the article. I didn't do all that. Uh, and then we've got another story. Just like the day after that article comes out, Donald Trump sues the Wall Street Journal for libel. He's, vehemently denying that this note exists. That's his take. He says it doesn't sound like him. He's just vehemently denying it.
Well, that makes sense. It just doesn't sound real, that letter.
Here's a quote about him suing Wall Street Journal. He says, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent testimony subject to court approval. So, hopefully we'll see some more, official documentation about this. I have my doubts that it will be anything of importance. I don't know what they could pull out that would clear Trump right now.
There is a lot going on for sure. It's tricky because I've been doing a little bit of research about this topic and learning about the conspiracies, and a lot of it makes sense,
Oh yeah.
and a lot of it is and this is my statement, I don't think, and I've had to contend with this in my head a lot, because initially I did think Donald Trump was on the list, and I don't think he's on the list. As much as Elon wants to say it, I'm not going with Elon on this one.
Well, I'll say this. I don't know if there is a list, but I'm pretty confident in Donald Trump's sordid affairs with Jeffrey Epstein.
It's tricky. I don't think he was involved in that way, in the way that all these allegations are being presented.
Right. I've heard some theories even that Trump, well, I assume you've heard theories like Epstein being a asset of the government, like the CIA. I've heard some people even
Actually,
presuming Donald Trump to be an asset of the CIA.
yes. So the Epstein thing, the theory that I've been hearing a lot is he is an asset to the intelligence agency of
Yeah,
Israel.
Mossad. People say Mossad
Yes,
or the
yes.
CIA.
And that's like the whole juxt of that conspiracy, and that's the one that's been resonating with me just because there's so many connections and plot holes that don't have explanations, that do have explanations if you're believing in this conspiracy. And that's also why I don't think it's Donald Trump, why he's not on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They were just they were close friends. I mean, Epstein himself has the quote, "He's my best buddy, my best friend." I'm welcoming any more information that they release. I thought this story was dead in the water a few years ago, and I think there's some real
this might
traction
be a
behind
very
it now.
historic.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a historic unveiling, and I hope that it gets unveiled in truth. Because Kanye might be onto something.
Okay.
I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
I think we leave the Epstein stuff at that for now. Kanye might be onto something.
It's deep. It's deep.
And I just want to move on to just the last story. I don't want to draw it out too much, but the last story for the week, because it's debatably the most important one. Congress rolls back, $9 billion in U.S. funding to public media and also in foreign aid. So I've got an article here from NPR, and this is going into the cuts for public fund for public media funding. That's it's a total of 1.1 billion that's being cut there. NPR says it's gonna affect like the less centralized areas, like these really small communities. They're gonna lose basically all their funding for NPR. And then PBS says that the federal funding is about 15% of their general budget, but I'm not sure how it's really going to affect their programming. I expect in the same way, small communities are going to be underserved now by those services. And I as someone from a super small community, pretty poor background, PBS was a pretty big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the concept of public broadcasting. It's a good service. It's a commendable service. Yeah.
I would agree. And this is bringing on even more questions, like why are they cutting this? What's the motivation behind that? Does it say in the article?
From my understanding, it's Donald Trump. Well, I don't know if it's just Donald Trump, but the Republicans in general see these NPR and PBS specifically as biased publications. Let's see here. We've in recent years, NPR has landed increasingly in the crosshairs of conservatives who accuse the network of left-wing political bias and woke programming. I don't know. I consider NPR to be a pretty balanced source. I mean, they do have some left-leaning views, but they're nothing like a Fox for the left or anything like that. It's not an actively harmful political outlet.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just That's just shitty. There's another quote here where they're talking about the funding, the 1.1 billion that they cut. That's about 160 per American every year. A huge sacrifice we must make. So that's where public broadcasting's at. Not a good time for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to be said about media nowadays,
Yeah.
and that doesn't seem to help the case.
I just want to get to the last part of this spending cut, which is foreign aid. So 1.1 billion gets cut from public media. So about the remaining 7.9 billion is foreign aid just getting destroyed. One of the major things is a $400 million cut to PEPFAR, a political program to combat HIV/AIDS that is credited with saving the lives of millions.
Mhm.
Fuck kids with AIDS. Why would we want to
I
help them
agree.
out? Yeah, I don't
Bill,
understand.
Bill Billson approves this message.
Yeah, fuck kids
Obviously,
with
I'm
AIDS.
joking, but isn't this related to the condom shit they were talking about a while back, where like basically we were giving condoms to the Taliban?
Possibly. I don't think this is connected to that specifically. This is PEPFAR. I'm not entirely familiar with that. But I think this is more about like AIDS clinics getting shut down, basically. Like this is what this is, not free condom programs are getting shut down.
That did happen.
Like,
If it is the clinic stuff, that is a little worrying, but I guess keep it in your pants.
I mean, that's just not like the issue in other countries though. Like
Yeah, I guess you're right.
it's not an
They're
yeah, it's not a question of
unsanitary third world countries.
it's like children being born with AIDS and stuff. Like
Yeah,
they're not gonna receive
that
healthcare
is.
anymore, and that's horrible, man. Uh, yeah, this
So, is there
specific.
other sources? Like, are there other countries that are maybe giving charity to these countries?
I've just in broad strokes, I've heard a lot of people talking about China is picking up where America is stepping out. I don't know if they're doing that in every single scenario. Like, I'm not familiar enough with China's policy at all, but I can't imagine that, everywhere we pull out of, China's going to step in. And if that is the case, that doesn't seem like it's good for American policy really either. Like I don't love American Empire, but one of the good things of American Empire is having AIDS clinics in countries where people are, dying of AIDS, like an epidemic
Yeah,
still.
yeah. I don't really know how bad AIDS really is nowadays. I know it's gotten
Yeah,
better.
yeah, I know it's gotten better, but even in our country, like it's not a disease that can be cured. Like I can't imagine it's good in like places without infrastructure, like really rural African villages.
I do think there is a fear um, in America right now, and I think that's why the MAGA movement gained so much power. Fear about the future, fear about the economy, and I think that's what's the policies are referring around, trying to bring back aid to our own country, focusing on domestic development and whatnot. And there are a lot of good points that say we have overstepped as a country in foreign affairs. And
And I don't think that's untrue. I think there are, yeah, many lanes in which we've, far and away exceeded our what we need to do in countries. I get America first. I get that as a concept, but I I don't see it being practiced in the politics. Like the big beautiful bill and stuff like that. Like the domestic policy isn't getting better. It's redistributing. It's getting better if you're like a super wealthy company
mhm,
owner, but for the little guys like Bill Billson and I,
yeah.
it ain't too hot.
Unfortunately, even then, investing more into domestic stuff, like the rich of this country, can still be seen as more beneficial than allocating to other countries, even though that it's horrible that, we're making it harder for other people to live. Um, it just gets tricky because the solutions aren't as easy as saying one decision is the right decision or the wrong decision at this point, especially with how much we don't see as well.
Well, I mean, I am willing to give some leniency to this, but I think specifically like with programs like PEPFAR, maybe you should rethink the cuts to those. I mean, maybe I get that they're taking an axe to like a lot of foreign aid programs. Like they're just taking an axe to all of it, and these are really intricate things. I mean, you need to look at them with a scalpel, maybe. Like
Yeah,
I'm
but
not saying
then
there isn't massive waste in these, but
yeah,
they're so like when you've got AIDS clinics on the ground, you can't just whack those away without serious consequences.
right. I think what Donald Trump has shown is he's willing to swing the axe, but he's not afraid to go back and redirect where it's necessary, which I think is
Uh,
kind of a good thing. I think he does focus on stirring the pot for change.
uh, yeah.
For example, the immigration situation, um, he swung the axe and went hard on getting ICE to crack down on illegal immigration, but now he's at this point where it's affecting the economy. Um, and this is more specifically about farming. Big farmer, the farming industry is being affected because they don't have migrant workers, illegal migrant workers, because they were incentivizing immigrants and allowing illegal immigrants to also work with them as well. And Donald Trump has gone back to the board and is rethinking what
Well,
illegal immigrants he wants to send back and what ones he wants to allow. And that's also made MAGA really upset.
the immigration policies are so they're hugely unpopular right now, for both the reasons of, yeah, I've seen like from people on the far right going, wait, we're keeping the farm workers and the hotel workers now?
Yeah.
Get all these brown people out of here. And
Yeah.
then there's a lot of people, specifically the Hispanic vote, but outside of that as well, that are seeing, wait, you're you're not getting just criminals. You just arrested my mom. What the fuck?
That's a
Like
it's a tricky thing because a lot of the stories are people and families that have been around in this country for a very long time, people that have been serving the community, regardless of their initial crime, which is illegal migration to the country. Um,
and I mean, I think it's really important to note that like uh, even if they've committed that crime, I mean, there are so many people that are just like they're here legally, like they have visas or they're literally citizens of the United States, and they'll just be detained just as long. Like, yeah,
well, that sounds like it might be a system issue, detaining people. I don't think, are they getting deported to places after having
uh,
citizenship?
occasionally, I mean, there've been stories of citizens being
I
straight up
haven't
deported.
personally heard that, but
Yeah, it might. I think it's a little bit outside the scope of this episode, but I think the SneepSpeakins team could do a much larger analyzation of the current immigration situation because
yeah.
it deserves it.
Hmm.
But yeah, just to kind of cycle back to the spending cuts, this is just a hypothetical. You destroy this AIDS clinic in Honduras, and you destroy all this other funding they're getting from the U.S. government too. Let's say that. Let's just imagine some Hondurans that are like, well, shit, man, this is not good. I have a family member who needs health care for their AIDS, and I've got no fucking money here. I think I'm gonna try my hand at going to America. I think
Hmm.
these anti-foreign aid policies can very directly uh, bite their immigration policy in the ass.
I see. But we are cracking
And,
down and making it more secure, so it will be more difficult for that to actually happen. So I feel like it would affect more of
uh,
like the
Indeed, I mean,
surrounding
we've got
countries.
ICE with a larger budget than the FBI now. That is definitely becoming a goal of our state right now. But I don't know how worthwhile that is for us. I don't know. Cycling back to the funding stuff again, because I could go down this immigration rabbit hole for quite a long time. Just cycling back to the funding stuff again. I'd like to ask, how would you we're cutting back spending on like foreign aid, but we're not cutting spending on like the military and arming foreign militaries.
Mhm.
We just gave, I mean, every week, we give $50 billion worth of weapons to Ukraine and Israel.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's
what do you like? I
definitely.
mean, what do you think of the foreign policy?
I
What do you
don't
think of the
like
war
that.
policy?
No, I don't like
Yeah,
that. I think at this point it would be nice to see us withdraw from that, and we've already tried, and Donald Trump's already made efforts to withdraw from other like foreign military aid, but it seems like there's big conflicts there that if we were to withdraw at this point, it would
right.
probably cause more damage than good, and that's the tricky like catch-22 situation we might be
Well,
in.
with the Ukraine, I can definitely see that argument, but uh, I mean, this could also be another long conversation. But I really have my doubts if that is the case with Israel. I mean, my understanding of it is that we give them like it's since October 7th. This could be I won't say any statistics, but we've given a like a plurality of their weapons to fight this war since October 7th.
Yeah.
And I think that is a case where if we just stopped funding them, stopped giving them weapons, they would not be in the same. They wouldn't have the same opportunity to wage this scorched earth campaign, to
There
say the
is
least.
a lot to be said about the people in power and the money aspect of war here. I think that a lot of it has to do with money because there's this is kind of getting it more into conspiracies, but our involvement with Israel has been like since day one, essentially.
No,
Like,
that's hardly a conspiracy.
right, right, but
They are. I mean, and this is to quote like officials in our government at other points. They're an aircraft carrier in the Middle East that can't be sunk. And that's what they serve for our foreign policy.
mhm.
Yeah. So conversations like that and more are what you can expect in the coming episodes of the SneepBeepins podcast. Uh, Bill, do you have any closing thoughts?
I have too many questions. Um, too many things to say. I think it's important that we're having these conversations. I appreciate you inviting me on here. Um, I
My
do,
pleasure.
I do, like I said, I do have a lot to talk about and a lot of ideas floating around in my head, but I enjoyed this. As another side note to where I'm coming from, and maybe the audience might have picked this up, I do have maybe a little bit more of a right-leaning tendency, and this is not to say that
This
I
is a
am full-blown conservative or anything, but I have
yeah,
been
this is a
working
big
on.
tent podcast. This is a big tent podcast. We've got a wide range of views here.
Mhm. I've been working on maybe getting beyond political labels, and that's why I've been so involved in like conspiracies that go after both sides, and that's the real juice for me when getting involved in politics here nowadays because we aren't getting answers from legacy media, uh, and that makes a lot of sense once you start to look into these conspiracies, and I would love to get more into those conspiracies if that's something you're interested in, because that's definitely something I'm interested in.
And with that, this has been the inaugural episode of the Sneeps Speaking podcast. I really hope if you're still with us, you enjoyed. If you're still with us, I would recommend checking out our Patreon. No ads there. Maybe you can also donate if you want to see more better Sneep Beepins content. It has been a pleasure. Thank you again.
Likewise.
Have you noticed Rubio's gaze? Trump observed Rubio's behavior with a slight upward curve of his lips and a recline of his body, seemingly taken aback. Some netizens deemed such conduct from Rubio as Secretary of State as impolite. Yet, this was exactly the outcome Trump wished to see. After noticing Rubio's actions, Trump turned his head away. Then, he shut his eyes tight,
as if pondering. Next, he cast his glance toward Bondi. It's common knowledge that Trump
is very particular about his hair, but this time he was willing to expose his bald spot
to the cameras just to look at Bondi.
What's more, when Bondi leaned forward, Rubio and Trump's gazes shifted in the same direction.
However, this movement seemed to have been
sensed by Bondi,
leading to an awkward situation. Additionally, every time Bondi glanced at Rubio, Rubio would deliberately avert his eyes.
Not only that,
but he also frequently lowered his head, his fingers occasionally moving as if adjusting the position of something. In the final
stage of the meeting,
Rubio and Trump burst into laughter, seemingly in celebration of some sort of victory.